They say you don't become a witch. That it's just one day you wake up and realize that's what you've always been. The one that doesn't always fit in. The one that likes the woods, the sun and sky, cats, owls, and the moon. The one who stays up late reading books, playing role-playing games, and learning the names of the stars. The one that likes to wear black eyeliner, capes. And then you realize, oh, that's what I am. I'm a witch.
Hey, welcome. Let me adjust my thing just a little bit here. Welcome to so it got a little bit wonky and I tried to fix it and then I did not do as good as I wanted to do. There you go. There you go. Hey, you guys, welcome to Walking the Witch's Web. Walking the Witch's Web. Hey, Lola, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. Happy Monday. We are live at 5.
Ooh,
5 o'clock on the Pacific Coast anyway.
Yeah, PST.
PST. So you're getting ready for something and I'm getting ready for something. Let's talk about what we're getting ready for. I'm so excited.
All right. Well, this Saturday, September, 23rd, I should know because I've been putting the date over and over. We are doing our second annual Northwest Pagan Fest here in Spokane, Washington. And it's going to be at the Spokane Community College in the Student Lair building, which is building number 6. It's in the Lair building and outside of the building. There's a bunch of beautiful grounds that we're going to have people vending, and there's going to be outdoor entertainment. And it's at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there are this is huge. This is a big deal. We have about 75 vendors. We have Viking reenactments. We have a kids area. There's going to be a lot of amazing workshops. And then I'm in charge of the entertainment. Go figure. They put me in charge of the entertainment. And we've got belly dancers and bands and acoustic guitar players. And we're going to have some fun music and just a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping people near and dear will come on to Spokane and see us this Saturday. It's a big deal. And there's the northwestpaganfest.com. You can see
Northwest Pagan Fest. I love the name. Northwest Pagan Fest. Northwest Pagan Fest. I can write a cheer.
But check out the website if you want more information. And we're really excited.
Awesome. Well, I am excited for you because it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic time. And I'm getting ready for Hecate Sickle Festival, which is coming up October 5th through the 8th. And that is going to be it's called The Power of the Witch. And its focus is on familiars and tools and how familiars help us relate more closely to our tools and how to use familiars in our magic and how to work with them and respect them and not, not abuse the privilege of working with a familiar. You've got to take care of them as though they're another, person that you're working with. And some of us think of animals as on a lower level than us. And one of the cool things we're going to learn is how animals are equal. They're not here to serve us. They partner with us in a relationship, and you get to learn how to work with them. I'm so excited. Hecate Sickle Festival is going to be so much fun. We've never had live animals at a festival before, Lola.
That's so awesome.
I'm gonna pet an owl.
Are you kind of concerned about, because this is where my 12-year-old brain goes, about them leaving messes places? You'll deal with that if it happens.
So I asked the hotel if it was okay for people to bring animals, and they said yes. They didn't give me any.
Yeah.
So I said yes, and I went, Okay.
Okay.
So, in the story.
Yeah.
We're going to have so much fun. Registration is all the way up until I think the Monday, like August 1st, I mean, October 1st or 2nd or something like that. But you should go ahead and get your registration in, and especially reserve your hotel room because we only have like 5 left in our room block. So you need to make
Oh,
sure you get that down.
wow.
And
Okay.
then, yeah. And then the hotels, the discounted hotel rooms cut off, I think, at the end of this week because the hotel needs a lot more room, a lot more time to prepare for everybody. Yeah. So Forrest says a strong argument can be made that some animals are above us. They don't generally display cruelty or needless malicious intent. Yeah, that's it, Forrest. That's exactly what we're going to be addressing is that, Christians teach that God made the earth and everything upon it to serve man, and that it's ours to subdue or control or in some kind of way master over, lord over. And while man is uniquely equipped to insert himself into any animal group and become its leader, there's a responsibility in that. And we see it more as earth stewardship. We're here to help take care of them. And while we haven't always been taught that in our common culture, we can still learn it now that we're adults and we understand how important it is. And that also comes in with conservation. I have a lot of hunters tell me that they are conservationists because they want to protect the land so they can keep hunting. And so there's certain things that we don't always understand about other cultures, but we always have room to learn more. And so that is one of the things that's going to be really exciting about Sickle is the live animals, learning about how to work with animals and see them in a different way, through very magical perspectives that might be foreign from your own, which I love that because I'm always learning. I'm always excited.
We actually are one of the topics with the Seekers guy or Oracle cards is animal helpers. That's coming up in a couple weeks, I believe.
Ooh, exciting. I hope that shows up right at the time of Hecate Sickle Festival. That'll be fun, won't it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the card we have today. It is Polarity.
Look at that.
I think that this is a really great subject to talk about, especially in today's culture, because polarity is really important. And we, in the wise tradition, we like to think of it as projective and receptive energy. Rather than male or female energy, positive or negative energy, because negative has a connotation, right? Projective and receptive really encapsulate it for me. Yeah, this is a beautiful card, Brenna. It really is. There's a lot of layers in here. I can't wait to discuss all of it. Fantastic.
Well, so I remember when I was first learning about witchcraft and I would see the word polarity and I would see the word duality. And I would sometimes be like a little confused. So I want to make sure that after all these years, I still know what I'm talking about. Duality is when things work together, right? The dual working together. Polarity is the opposites, but the opposites kind of around each other. Is that, do I got it wrong? Because I feel like,
well, I don't know about wrong, Lola. I make room for everybody to be right. And sometimes the words that we use to label things don't mean the same thing that the words that other people use to label things. And that's why we talk about it. Now, for me, duality is two things existing at the same time that create something new together or create an experience together. Duality, and polarity are the opposite ends.
Okay.
Right. So maybe
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's how I see it. Polarity is positive or negative, male, female, good, bad,
Black, white.
Projective, receptive, black, white, angel, devil, yin and yang.
Yeah.
What else have we got up here? Sun and moon.
Yeah, we've got forest and city. We've got
red and white, roses and daisies, I guess.
And then I love that she's got the halo, the angel, and then she's got a little devil tail.
Little devil tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is the necklace that she's wearing? Is that significant?
Not sure. I think it's just a pretty necklace, but it could be significant.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got a dot in the middle of it, so I don't know.
But
I look at everything, right? Her
Yep.
dress is black and white, but there's a gray in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And
the fish.
Caution, sharp. Yeah, the fish is the yin and yang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the red, caution, sharp, and then the white, which is very Persephone, Kore.
Yep.
The red and the white.
I like a choker and a necklace, 2 different types of adornment, maybe, is what Forrest said. Yeah. I mean, it's there's no wrong answers. You know, you can look at, that's what these pictures are for, or these cards are for, is to it's your interpretation of what you get out of it, what energy you get out of it. So there's no wrong answers. It's your interpretation of it.
Well, I like what Brenna said. I see duality as being able to hold both ends of polarity is true. Yeah. Kind of like when, is it either or? Well, it's both. Okay, well, how is it both? And that's one of the ways that, you know, the difference in witchcraft and mundane thinking is that you have to bend your brain around some separate concepts that we don't use in mundane reality, such as, is it this or is it that? Well, it's both. And then some people go, that breaks my brain. But witches go, okay, no, I see how they can both exist at the same time. And that's what training does for you, right, Lola? I mean, that is specifically what witchcraft training does for you, is it teaches you how to think in a way that applies magical principles that really changes the way you look at the universe. And polarity is one of those concepts. Duality is also.
I like that. I like the thing that you just said, you know, either or, you know, this one or that one. And it's like, well, why not both? That's so Persephone. That is so Persephone, because she's both.
Well, she's my lady, yeah.
Yeah, she's you know, she's the goddess of spring and all the innocence and that maiden energy, and then she is the queen of the underworld, and she's got that she comes into herself and she just is strong but yet compassionate. And there's duality or polarity, strong, compassionate. Well, it's like the charge of the goddess, mirth and reverence. You know, so let there be power. What is it? Let there
power
be
and compassion, mirth and reverence, honor and humility, beauty and strength.
Strength. Yep. Yeah. You have to have those. You need to work with those energies and have them, because it creates a more complete person. If you're too much on one side of things, you're really missing out on lessons that could be learned, and how you can really be okay with who you are. Light and shadow. We do shadow work. You got to be okay with who you are. You got to be okay with that darkness.
Right. Well, and also the balance of projective and receptive, light and dark, all of that. When you bring it to the middle, you have more power. You're striving for balance, right?
Yep.
It's like you're striving for balance in the garden of good and evil down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, right. Even internally within yourself, the projective and receptive forces. Forrest says, to me, the most fascinating part is the gray that's formed from both black and white parts of the dress. Finding the medium between extremes, either by combining them or by allowing them to coexist.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yes. Do you ever think, you know, when people say, you know, because we talk about achieving balance, us witches are always about the balance, the balance, the balance. But I think that we never truly, we don't hold the balance all the time. It's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, we're perfectly balanced like the scales, right? And then we're good. Yay, we've achieved it. No, we're always in this ebb and flow. And sometimes it's higher up here and sometimes it's lower down here. And we just try to work to get somewhere right in the middle. I look like I'm playing with big boobs when I do this. Sorry. But
Well,
anyway.
I do not believe that the universe is a static place. I mean, you could totally create a balance if you had two scales, right? If you had a scale and you put the right amount of weight on both sides, then you would achieve balance. I have hurt my arm. So if y'all think that I'm being imbalanced with my hand movements today, it's because this shoulder is I've re-injured it. I fell yesterday. I walked 13,000 miles yesterday. I climbed to the top of a mountain, and I'm really proud. But I got a few lessons along the way, and blessings too.
Yes.
But you could balance and be like, oh, here we are. Don't change anything. Everything is perfect. If nothing changed. But every day, everything is changing. Every day, everything is growing. Every animal out there is trying to survive. Every plant out there is growing and changing and trying to survive. Every stream is flowing. Every ocean is moving. Everything is moving all day long. So you have to be constantly flowing. We say, be like the willow.
Mm-hmm.
And flow with it instead of being like the oak, because no matter how braced you are against the flow of the universe, it will break you. You cannot hold back the flow.
Yeah.
So it's better to flow with it and find balance within it. Be the chaos, be the eye of the storm, be the center of your universe, and let it all flow around you, right?
Well, and I know that some people, if they're, like we said, they live in a constant state of either darkness or a constant state of light, and that's the people that and change is scary. Change is really scary. Sometimes it's scary, more scary to different people. Like some people can really go with the flow. They were just born to do that. And then there's some people, like some of us earth signs, that like to stick our feet in the mud and just be, I'm the tree, I'm the oak. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I'm just going to worship Hecate all year long and wear black all year round. The heck with it.
You called me out because I do that sometimes. I do. I'm a Capricorn, so it happens.
I know. I'm a goth girl too. What can I say?
But, it's change is scary, and the scariest things are always the best things. They're always end up being the best things in the end. And that's what I tell my students, and that's what I tell people I talk to is, yeah, it's scary, and it should be scary. But if it wasn't scary, we'd just be, all of us would be on the light end of the spectrum, right? We'd be like, we would choose to be like, oh, this is easy peasy. I'm going to live in, light and butterflies and spring and all the fluffy things. Well, I always say, first of all, that would be boring. And second, you would never learn the lessons. So you got to take chances and push your comfort level.
Well, it just depends on what day you're talking to me, but Hecate, Persephone, but also Demeter and Aphrodite, and it moves around with the wheel of the year. I try to focus on the one that's present at the time because they very much are deities of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And powerful forces, but I change with them because that's one of the ways that we worship is we evolve with the seasons. We change and we grow. And the push and the pull of the universe is how we learn. If everything stayed the same, we actually did that. If you read mythology, there was this gold race of beings way back in the day, way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And they got bored. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to work. They didn't have to achieve. They just got so bored that they didn't want to eat. They didn't want to walk over and pick the food off the tree and stick it in their mouths, and they all died out. Yeah. And deity tried several other races of mankind. And if you more believe in science, you will see that there are many different types of humanoid races that preceded us.
Oh
And
gosh.
yeah, and it wasn't until we're the race of stone, right? And
Mm.
even the Bible says we're made of the dust of the earth, but the Greek mythology way of interpreting is we're the race of stone. And it wasn't until man had to fight his way to thrive,
Yeah.
overcome against odds, that the race became viable. Otherwise, we just give up and die off. It was too easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Well, I
need
mean,
adversity.
people talk about, utopia and reaching this state. And I, there's always that little darkness in all of us that, people say as witches, when someone tells me, which it has been a long time, but if someone says, oh, you're going to burn in hell. And I'm like, well, that's where all my friends are going to be. And it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a party. We're going to be in bikinis sipping Bacardi. I don't know what you're going to do. Right? Sing hymns. I don't want to go there.
Right. So when you think of polarity, like in other, we're saying projective, receptive. There's other ones like negative, positive, like your car battery, or there's your seasons. So you have your summer, winter.
I just want to clarify. Hang on a second. I just want to clarify for the sake of those people watching that we don't actually believe in heaven or hell. That was a joke.
Yeah.
We just don't go to hell, and we don't go to. Yeah, that's not our paradigm. So just for,
No, it's just a funny thing to say when people have said that to me. It's just like, well, that's where the party is. So
it's a witch joke, actually.
Yeah, it is a witch joke. That's where all our friends are going to be. So what about some deities that have that flip side of the coin, the polarity?
The flip side. What do you mean the flip side of the coin?
Like Kore Persephone.
Kore Persephone. There's Castor and Pollux.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the two, Remus and Ramus?
What about Apollo and Dionysus?
Apollo and Dionysus. Yeah. Apollo and Artemis.
Oh yes, yeah, the twins.
Athena and Ares. You got me thinking about the wheel now. Aphrodite and Persephone. Demeter and Hecate. Athena and Persephone.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I can keep going.
I know. No, I can think
what about Janus? Janus is the god of two faces. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Who said that? Did someone say Janus? Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
The god of two faces, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you feel that we can achieve and work with polarity? Like, how can we achieve balance? How can we achieve, like, what are things we could work on and that we teach each other as witches and to get that balance?
Well, we talk about grounding, and but what else are we doing? Like, we're grounding and sending. We're pulling in and we're sending out energy all the time, right? Yeah. So that's one of the ways that polarity is expressing itself within our own body. That dark half of her is pulling in energy, where the light half is sending out, right? So some people think that you're this powerhouse of sending out energy, and no. If you're a powerhouse of sending out energy, you're pulling it from something else, which should be the earth. If you're not pulling it from the earth, you're probably pulling it from something that needs it. If you pull it from the earth, there's a never-ending supply of energy. And if you're the straw, you can just move that through you, and lots of unlimited energy, right? That's how you're a powerhouse. If you're using your own energy, that'll leave a mark. That'll show up later.
That does. That is a common mishap with witches sometimes, if they're just learning how to work with that energy. And
or if they're just pulling it in and not sending it anywhere.
Yeah. Well, when you say that, I think of our chakras, and I think that, we've got the lower half of our chakras are very much in our body, the physical, the tangible. And then you get past the heart chakra, which I always say is like the bridge between the two. And then you get, so there's a lot of us that, the upper chakras, there's a lot of us that I know for me when working with the chakras, the root, sacral, and the will were the hardest ones for me because I like being outside of things and like, you know what I mean? Like I like the throat and the third eye and the crown is very reaching out more. And so, but taking the courses at the Wiccan seminary taught me that, you can activate all those chakras. You can eat the right foods. If you're always in your head, let's do some more grounding down here. And I just always thought that was really fascinating that it's within our system. The polarity or the trying to achieve that balance is in our bodies. Right.
Yes, it's in our bodies. And Lola, witches often overlook the physical. That's what the goddess said. She's like, you witches sit in the dark and stare at things too long. You need to appreciate the food. How long would you survive? What did she say? What good is all your spiritual knowledge when you don't have food for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I will garden. I'll garden. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, great mother. But
yes,
we take it for granted because we're like, food's always going to be there. I'm going to be able to, life is life. I want to know what's going to happen after dark, afterlife, death, death and rebirth and all that kind of stuff. We specifically pursue the mysteries of the darkness and the mysteries of afterlife. So polarity is teaching us to appreciate all of it.
Yes. You have to be present. You, and like we've talked about this before when we talk about the elements. You can't practice witchcraft if your earth element isn't working correctly. Because that's where it starts from. Yeah, all the other elements, they're really fun. You've got your emotions of water. Oh, I want to work with my emotion. You've got your air. Oh, my thoughts. Oh, fire is passion. But geez, if your earth realm is not working, if you don't have that grounding balance, if you don't have your home life in order, and it doesn't mean you have to be living in a mansion and having the perfect family. No, that's not what it is. It's just, you've got to have some sort of control over what's going on at home base on your earthly realm, or else you're not going to be able
to have a firm foundation.
A firm foundation. Yep.
Yes.
So we do tend to forget because we love being in our heads and doing all the floaty things and all the connecting with ancestors and, we're up here all the time. And it's like, hey, remember, this physical body needs food and water and, take care of it.
And not only that, but you said, let's get all into our emotions. But some people are like, they don't want to get into their emotions. They don't want to get into the feely stuff.
They're balanced the other way.
They're really good with working. They're really good with making their money. They don't want to talk about feelings. So, and we talk about polarity and keeping things in a, in a positive so that, you have bad things happen to you. People are like, oh, you're supposed to be grateful for the fact that you got hit by a car and now you're in a wheelchair. No, you're supposed to be grateful for the fact that you're still alive and there are people to take care of you and that you didn't die and you get to learn a whole new way of being. And you there are lessons that you learn when you are sitting in a wheelchair that you don't learn when you're walking around. And I'm sure that they are every bit as valuable. No, you're not grateful that somebody shot you in the leg and now you don't have a leg, but you're grateful that you lived and you're grateful that somebody is taking care of you. That's the thing. You find the thing to focus on that's positive. And that's what's really difficult for people. This kind of polarity. It's not, you're living a life where shit is going to happen.
Yes,
people going to die. People going to leave you. You're going to get married. You're going to get divorced. You're going to have kids. You're not going to have kids. You're going to have grandchildren. You're not going to have your dog's going to get sick. Things are going to happen. You get fired, right?
Yeah.
And so to live in a state of gratitude, that's where you're trying to be, right? Because when you're in a state of gratitude, then you can create more positive things for yourself. You're not grateful that you got fired. You're grateful for that you get a chance to find a job that you like better, or that you're more suited for. Maybe you make more money at. That'll add more quality to your life.
Someone in one of our devotionals said, oh, I woke up and I'm feeling my body's kind of hurting. My fibro's acting up. I'm in pain today. And they said, but you know what? That means I'm alive and I'm feeling the pain. And I thought that was a wonderful gratitude that they said, I'm just grateful that I can feel this pain and that my body's still because once I'm not feeling pain, there's something wrong.
Well, that's when you get older. I've noticed that old people say, you say, how you doing today? And they say, every day I wake up on this side of the ground is a good one.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, that's where we're at. All right. Yeah. Yes. But that's true. That's
very
true.
And that's polarity. That's important polarity, that you've got to take the good with the bad.
Right.
You're alive to take the good with the bad.
Yes. That's polarity.
Yeah.
And things have happened that are bad. Man, it can get worse. Be grateful for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, exciting stuff. And Forrest says, can't fill another's cup when your glass is half empty. It's true. It's true. Now, if you would like to come and learn some more deeper things about witchcraft, we're kind of covering basics here, which are wonderful. You can't do the basics too much, but you can go to wiccanseminary.edu. The new semester starts the beginning of October. And it takes a little bit of time to process in. So if you go now and get registered, you can start with the new fall class and even have time to get elevated to sophomore by January.
Yeah, that's fast tracking. But it's a lot of work, and people think that I'm going to learn witchcraft and it's going to be all these magic spells. And no, you got homework, you got tests. You got to study. It's real seminary work, and it's awesome.
Are there tests? I guess there are. And there's a lot of it happens spiritually outside of school between you and the gods too. It's a real college is what I think is what Lola's trying to say.
Yeah, it's a real college.
Yeah, it's a real college. And it is also, you can go at your own pace. You don't have to fast track it. You can stay. I've known people to stay in freshman class for years and years and years because they want to take a lot of electives and stuff, and they don't really want to get into the timed part, which is sophomore, junior, senior, where you get to experience the sun and the moon keep moving through the sky, and that means something for witches. And you get on board with that seasonal spiral curriculum, which I think is so exciting. So wiccanseminary.edu, go check it out. It is the only state recognized college of Wicca where you can get scholastic degrees from associates to doctorate in the United States.
And
so Wiccan ministry, degrees in Wiccan ministry. Sorry.
And it really, that's good. I'm just saying, I can't say enough about it because it has taught me, it's made me who I am by being part of the Wiccan seminary. A lot of people are like, how do you learn? Oh, thank you, Alexa. She was talking to me. She's like, I want to learn witchcraft. You are a witch, Alexa. Alexa, the automatic thing. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so people will say, how do you learn like this patience when you deal with different personalities and this and that? And I'm like, I learned it at the school. They really teach you wonderful clergy work and how to deal with all different types of people, how to get them do your work for the goddess. It's a wonderful school, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it to a lot of people.
Thank you. Yeah, it takes about it takes a couple of weeks. So if you get in now, you'll be done by the time the session starts.
Yeah,
that's what So let's go back to our card, Lola. If you drew this in a reading. That's what you usually ask me. If I drew this in a reading, what would I think?
What would I
would think.
Oh, if I got this card, go ahead. Go ahead, Bella.
I would think that maybe I'm only looking at one side and that I need to balance my viewpoint and look at both sides of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, it's, this is the dark time of the year, and it's easy to get really pulled into, okay, we're in the underworld now, or things are going to happen. We're going to go more within, but don't forget that there's reaching out to people. Like, this is why this time of year, a lot of people get depressed, because we tend to, like, hibernate and go within and hunker down. And, but it's also really important to reach out to family and friends and have that social activity, even if it's just a few people. And so I was just talking about that today, because a bunch of people in my devotional group were talking about they're feeling kind of down and their bodies are kind of aching and there's some depression setting in. I'm like, well, 'tis the season, but don't forget to reach out to your spiritual family. Go to the Christmas parties, the Yule parties, the Halloween parties. Get out there and know that you got to have that balance, because it's so easy to get sucked into the darkness and just want to hide. And so that's what it reminds me of.
It's true. It's true. I did not realize that I suffered from seasonal depression till I started doing Mary Kay. And then I realized that when October came around, I just didn't want to work.
Yeah.
It's October, November, December. I didn't want to work. And that helped me understand that I needed seasonal depression lights. So now I have seasonal depression lights up all over the house during the dark months, because I'm from Atlanta, where there's light. And now we're in the Pacific Northwest, where there's not as much light. And it does impact you, the difference between the light half of the year and the dark half of the year. The days being really long and the days being really short.
Yeah. And so that's what this card reminds me of, is just remember, especially where we live, here in Spokane, it gets pretty dark. We get all the snow, and we get it. Like, it's like winter is coming. Like, it's pretty serious here, and people get really depressed. And so just remember, I need to remind myself that I can reach out. I've got people just a computer click away too. You don't have to see people in person, but you can connect, have a video chat with someone. So I'm reminding myself that, yes, it's coming, but I can also reach out and be social and happy.
Well, and don't you think that that's why we have, like, the lights, the return of the light? We have all the Christmas lights up, and we have the Candlemas, and we have the Samhain. It's about all the family getting together. All of these holidays are in support of your mental and emotional well-being, where the holidays on the light half of the year are more in support of your physical well-being.
Yeah. You're more active. You get out, you go swimming, you go camping, you go hiking. This is much more for that emotional and mental support that you need. It's really good for and that's why I say, I'm like, it's crazy. There's the polarity that in this time of year, this is where most of the parties are. Like, this is, you've got your Halloween parties, you've got your Thanksgiving, you've got Christmas, Yule, you've got New Year's, right? I mean, like, these are social things.
Yeah.
Parties. Yeah.
It's to get you out of the house and keep you from being depressed. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So take advantage of it.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you guys pulled this in a reading, what would you think that it meant for you? Is there something that you see that we didn't cover? I like the angel and the devil references for sure.
I do too. I know that this year someone gifted me a beautiful Persephone statuette. And so I'm really excited to work with her energy this time of year and connect with her compassion. That was one of the things that the Wolstenstein Theological Seminary had their Mabon ritual last night online, and it was wonderful. And I got to speak with Persephone in her shrine. And I didn't have a question or anything. I just said, I'm realizing that in this dark time of year, you can still have compassion and love, and that light still comes out. And that means so much to me. And that's what I'm looking forward to working with her is she's compassionate. She takes care of those souls. She's the one that's like, hey, hi there, little one. What's this soul doing? And let me take care of you. And it's just the most, she's just so compassionate, but she's strong. She's a very
She's
strong.
strong, but yeah, well, she knows what it means she knows what it feels like to hurt. That's the thing. Hey, Tinky, Kayla. The thing about the underworld deities is that they have gone through death. And so they know what that feels like, and that they know what so they have compassion for that. But I was thinking about how the polarity of Persephone from Aphrodite being the goddess of flowers, and the maiden, eternal maiden, the goddess of love, but she's also really free, right? Like she's married, but you don't think of Aphrodite as someone who can't just pursue her heart's desire, right? Whereas Persephone is a queen, and she has a lot of responsibilities, but she's also the mother of witchcraft.
Yeah.
Because witches desire to learn the secrets of death, right? Yeah. And so while many love Aphrodite, there are only some of us that really love Persephone and wish to pursue
I've been working magic. I've been working a lot with Aphrodite since probably, spring started, and I was really coming to love the Aphrodite energy. It took me forever, years and years and years and years to trust the Aphrodite energy. And I've been doing it. So then when I was telling someone that, I'm now kind of progressing into Persephone, someone said, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, if you look up the myth of Adonis, and when Adonis was in love with Aphrodite, or Aphrodite was in love with Adonis, and so Ares killed him. Ares turned into a boar, killed Adonis, and then Aphrodite says some choice words about how Persephone and her share the same powers. And so you should read that myth, because there's a lot of stuff in there about how Persephone and Aphrodite are two sides of the same coin.
But also Aphrodite has that polarity too, because yes, she's about love and loving yourself, but that's some serious shadow work for some people. That's why I was afraid of Aphrodite, because it's about loving yourself and owning your sexuality and your beauty and wanting to look beautiful for people. But you want to do it for yourself, but it's nice to get attention, of course, because we're human.
Well, yeah, you get that. See, this is polarity all over again. Aphrodite and Persephone, right? Aphrodite in herself is the love of self and the love of a partner, right? And then Aphrodite Persephone is the love of self, being free to love who you want to, and then the committed Persephone, responsible, loving your people and loving your responsibility, loving your position, your position of marriage as queen. All of that. Those are all polar opposites, right? Yeah, and also coexist.
So I was really excited, because I didn't think of it until I think it was one of your students that pointed out, wow, it sure makes sense that you're going from Aphrodite to Persephone. And I went, oh yeah, it does. I hear this over and over and over, year after year after year after year. And sometimes, I'm too busy, and I'm we all are. Sometimes we're too busy to listen. And then it finally sinks in one time. It's like, oh, well, shoot. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Tinkle Tink said Aphrodite means phone born, which is interesting. But Aphrodite was born from the castrated genitals of Uranus.
Yeah.
So
out of that violent act, I mean, castration, that's not fun. But
hang on. So this is where we get to talk about deep mythology, right? Because mythology is symbolic. There's Uranus is a planet. How are you going to cut a planet's genitals off and throw them into the sea and create a deity? These are all symbols, right? So if you think about Greeks, the perfect love was born of the love of two men. Okay. And you have Uranus and Uranus and Neptune right here at the end, right? So how is it that Daniel said Uranus
It
is.
was Daniel and I both that were having this conversation.
Okay, tell us what Dusty's got the parts of this conversation that I don't remember. So come on over here, Dusty.
Come on over. Come on down, Dusty.
So Greek culture believed true love, not all love, but true love could only occur between two men because so much had to get out of the way for that love to exist.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought it was interesting that the genitals of one god were cast into the receptive waiting waters of another god.
Yes.
And from the foam of that union created the goddess of true love.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
it's Uranus and Poseidon, but I can't figure. It's Uranus and Neptune, way
Yes.
out there on the outer edges.
Yes. They formed Aphrodite. Oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, you totally have to get abstract. Okay, so this is not about people, and this is not about babies. This is not about genitals. These are symbols that mean something else.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just love learning stuff from you guys. It just gets me so excited because I was looking at it as, well, castration of genitals, and from that's like such a violent act, but out of it comes the beauty of Aphrodite. And to me, that's like something beautiful coming from something very dark. So I'm looking at it the way you're saying. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, the genitals going into the sea.
Yes.
Of a.
It's the Heros Gamos concept.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Which
It
is
is.
polarity.
It's really awesome. So I love mythology like that because it's telltale of things that you wouldn't think. It's misdirection, but yeah, polarity.
Yeah.
It's the mysteries hidden out in the open.
So, Kayla says sometimes from pain comes beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And Neptune is Poseidon. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Uranus and Uranus, Neptune, Poseidon, same, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, where can people get more of you, Bella, if they want to find you or talk to you? Look at us taking each other's roles.
I know, and I love it. So Lola, just so you know, yesterday was Lola and Bella Day, and it said that we are Thelma and Louise.
Oh, on Facebook?
Yeah. You're my ride or die. We're gonna go off into the sunset and get in trouble together. And I was like, that is so darn true. It's so funny.
It's so true. I remember when you first met me when I was very like my freshman year at the school, and you were doing something. I can't remember. We were online, and you said, "Ooh," like you were kind of hanging out in my headspace. And you said, well, Lola's headspace is a party. And I'm like, she knows me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is true. You have a great headspace, and I love it that you can always get me to come to the party. That was the thing about you.
Yep.
Lola knows how to get me to come to have a good time.
Awesome.
So Belladonna LaVeau, you can find me very easily on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, atcwicca.org, belladonnalaveau.com, and bella@atcwicca.org is my email. I am very easy to find. If you type in Belladonna LaVeau on the internet, you will get a bunch of me. So feel free to email me or message me. I'm always happy to hear from you, and I am currently taking new students. So if you want to study witchcraft personally in an initiatory track, then you can reach out to me as well. I think Lola's taking students right now too, right?
I am, yeah. It's my first time doing one-on-one students, and you can get me at Lola Stardust at wiccanseminary.edu, and I'm all over Facebook. I mean, people, you see me advertising everything. I'm under Lola Starr on Facebook. I'm under Lola Stardust on Discord. You can message me there. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. So yeah.
Yes, you are. And you're an awesome teacher.
Northwest Pagan Fest. Thank you, Bella, for doing that.
Northwest Pagan Fest, Spokane.
Yeah.
And if you're Seattle, SeaTac right at the airport, Hecate Sickle Festival. It's sickle.atcwicca.org. Still time to register for both of those events. Come and have some fall hanging out with your family, pagan time, it's always a good time. Yeah, Brenda, always a good time. It's absolutely true. Lola,
We have
I
a
love
good
hanging
time.
out with you.
I love hanging out with you. And next week we're talking about the moon.
The
moon.
The moon. The
We
beautiful
love
moon.
we love the moon, don't we?
We do. Join us next week, Monday. We go live at 5.
Live at
We'll
5.
talk more about how to walk the witch's web. Thank you for being with us today. Mwah.
Bye, everyone.